Now on Coast TV News.
Cool Spring Crossing closer to reality. The next steps for the proposed development off Route 9.
Emergency dredging.
That sand has filled in tremendously.
When you'll see work in OC.
Water worries, a plea from the city of Rehoboth Beach.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Cool Spring Crossing, the land that could be home to one of the largest developments in the county. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with a big step forward for plans for homes, a YMCA, a hotel, and more.
Here's a look at the giant property off of Route 9. It's specifically between Cool Spring Road and Hudson Road. 637 acres of open space at the moment where a mixed-use development is proposed. The plan was back in front of Sussex County Planning and Zoning today. That's where Coast TV News' Emma Aiken joins us live in Georgetown. Emma.
Maddie, Sussex County Planning and Zoning just recommended to approve Cool Spring Crossing, saying it provides a range of housing options and essential medical and health care services. The approval comes with a range of conditions that will go to County Council. Open land and lots of plans. It's called Cool Spring Crossing on Route 9 and Cool Spring Road. The idea, a massive mixed-use development with more than 1,900 housing units spread across 7 villages, plus a YMCA, grocery store, restaurants, a hotel, an art or theater center, retail space, a gas station, and other commercial amenities. For Lewis local Linda Ewell, it's a no.
The last thing we need is 1,900 more houses. It's hard to get a medical appointment, and it's hard to go anywhere.
There are more than 60 comments on the county's website in favor of the Cool Spring Crossing development, saying they like the idea of the YMCA, the open space, and a range of housing options. Milton local and Lavender Fields homeowner Kate Speaker G sees the benefits, but she does have concerns about the size of the development.
What I really get hung up on is why not have the infrastructure that could support it, right? It just seems really common sense.
Hundreds of acres with hundreds of mixed opinions. Again, the recommendations made today still must go to County Council for final approval. Live in Georgetown, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
A property that's garnered a lot of attention for prospective development, Belmead Farm. There is currently a proposal to turn the stables you see here into apartments and businesses. Sussex County Council is scheduled to discuss that proposed zoning change at its meeting on July 22nd.
And let's jump right into our Coast TV poll for the evening. We want to know, what's your concern about Sussex County development?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. 53% say more traffic, 28% say healthcare strain, 18% say losing open space, just 1% now saying school crowding.
And we do have a comment from William in Rehoboth Beach. He says he's actually all of the above. Our schools are busting, our health care is harder and harder to get, and we are losing our breathing room.
If you want to leave a comment or vote in this poll, please do so, and we will show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Lewis. A beautiful end to the day after a rainy start. As we turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. Yes, a rainy start, a bit of a cloudy finish, but at least it's a dry finish. And then we have to watch out for, believe it or not, too much sunshine over the next couple of days. It's kind of wacky how the weather's going these days, right? So we're at 83 degrees with scattered cloud cover in place in Milford. Now, we received just over 1/4 of an inch officially in Ocean City, shy of an inch for us in Salisbury, but more than 1.5 inches over in Cambridge, just as an example. And in Georgetown, we received actually more than just 0.66. Flip those numbers, actually 0.99. We're at 78 degrees in Long Neck, as well as Dagsboro, and in Lewis, 79 right now in Milton. Now, a rainfall update as of right now, and this is a new month now, we're already at 1/4 of an inch, so we've already stepped beyond our normal pacing in just one day. But for the year, we're about 1.5 inches beyond our normal total. So that's how we're rolling for right now. We see scattered cloud cover, but look at the reports from yesterday's storm. For example, we had something happening in Cambridge. We had a report there. And the last thing I want to mention is another storm damage report coming out of Vienna. Coming up, we'll talk more about your full forecast and all that sunshine, Maddie.
All right, Paul. Thank you. A home improvement contractor will spend 6 months behind bars after prosecutors say he defrauded Delaware homeowners. Jeremy Bowen pled guilty to multiple counts of felony home improvement fraud. Prosecutors say Bowen took payment for projects, many swimming pools, and never completed the work. The DOJ says a lot of his victims were senior citizens. Bowen will also be paying nearly $300,000 in restitution, spend a year on home confinement, and he's actually banned from working in home improvement for 4.5 years.
Scam alert, and for all you pet lovers out there, pay attention to this one. There is a fake puppy scam going around. According to Ocean City Police, these are the signs to watch for. Suspiciously low prices, especially on purebred puppies, sellers refusing to meet in person, insistence on upfront payment for transport, especially if you haven't seen that pet in person, and untraceable payments like Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, or even gift cards. To protect yourself, try to use reputable sources, shelters, rescues, breeders with documentation, meet the pet in person, and as always, if it sounds too good to be true, it might be. The Sussex County Republican Party officially named Nikki Miller as their candidate for an expected special election in District 20.
The seat is now vacant after Stell Parker Selby resigned after missing every day in the legislative session this year.
Miller already filed for the 2026 race. This is Miller's second attempt at the seat.
Miller lost to Parker Selby by just 275 votes in 2024.
Today, Miller told CoastTV she hopes the experience she gained from past campaigns will better her chances in a special election.
When I was principal and when I'm in administrator role, I care about constituents, right? That's just going to be bigger now. So my responsive to the constituents, being that voice for them, not only when we're voting on things, but being there to support them in other ways.
A date for the special election has not yet been set, as we're still awaiting for a writ of election to be issued. No date has been given for a writ or special election for the 20th district seat. Republicans expect to have a date for the election next week. This announcement comes as Ruby Schaefer filed as the first Democrat for the seat for the 2026 race. Schaefer is a local businesswoman, volunteer, EMT, and wife of former Republican Sussex County Councilman Mark Schaefer.
Water infrastructure in Maryland, well, they're getting some needed upgrades. The state awarding millions of dollars towards several projects. Federalsburg getting $4 million to rehab 2 pumping stations. That's to improve the sewage system. $2 million set aside for the water system in Pocomoke City, and $15 million earmarked for counties to upgrade sewage disposal systems. That's specifically to reduce nitrogen from flowing into the Chesapeake Bay.
Nearly all of Ocean City has been designated as a just community. The appointment goes to areas affected by racial segregation, disinvestment, and environmental or health issues. The initiative prioritizes state funding to these communities. Still, Ocean City leaders say the town doesn't fit the bill.
A lot of the scoring was based on population and vacant housing, which obviously a lot of times a year we have vacant housing. We recognize that really it's a little bit of an anomaly.
McGeehan says the town will honor the intent of the legislation and will defer priority funding to other communities that need it most.
The Army Corps of Engineers says the Ocean City Inlet is in dire need of dredging. Live in West Ocean City is Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe. Kevin, the Army Corps says that dredging will be in just a few weeks.
Maddie, right behind me is where they're planning the dredge starting on July 21st. And we talked to boaters who told Coast TV that dredging this area would be awesome for all boaters sailing in and out. Now, Brendan Hanley is one of the owners of Pure Lure in West Ocean City and says the channel near the Ocean City Inlet has filled in with sand during the winter and spring. With more trouble traversing through the water, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says they will begin dredging on July 21st. They plan to dredge 7,500 cubic yards of material near the northern half of the Ocean City Inlet channel near the harbor, and they say the timing is intentional.
It has to be done before the White Marlin Open. When that tournament's here, it's the largest and richest billfish tournament in the world. We'll have over 400 boats participating in that event.
Now, according to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, this dredging project is only going to take 8 days. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in West Ocean City Coast TV News.
We have a lot more news to get to this evening.
Saving water in Rehoboth Beach, the urgent plea from the city.
And we're expecting dangerously high UV index level up again due to the burning sunshine. All those concerns along the beaches.
But first, spotted and saved, meet the off-duty lifeguards who jumped in when it mattered most. We're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
This is the view from Cape Henlopen State Park's bathhouse. That's where off-duty lifeguards spotted a woman in trouble out in the water yesterday.
Tonight, we meet the lifeguards who may have saved her life.
Coast TV's Christina DiRobertis in the newsroom with the story. Christina, the lifeguards being called heroes for that extra duty.
Yeah, Maddie, they are being called heroes, and one of the lifeguards is now being called Eagle Eyes. That's because he's the one who spotted the woman about 300 yards out in the ocean. When the beach day winds down at about 5 p.m., most lifeguards up and down the coast head home. But the job doesn't always end when the shift does.
I think they went the extra mile.
Monday night, 7 off-duty North Shores lifeguards proved it.
I got a call from my boss saying, hey, there's a missing swimmer off the naval jetties. I hopped in my car, sped down here.
The group of guards then hopped into these Polaris beach vehicles and raced up the coast from Rehoboth to Cape Henlopen State Park.
It's probably about 2.5 miles.
When they got here, the state park bathhouse, it was Luke McDermott, now nicknamed Eagle Eyes, who spotted her.
I was looking out in the ocean and I saw a swimmer and I noticed that she looked like she was struggling, so I was like, hey guys, I think that could be her. And then we saw her hand go up, and then that's when we jumped into action, swam out, and got her.
He says she almost blended into the ocean.
She was wearing all navy bathing suit, and the swell was pretty hard because there was like a 5-foot interval in between, so it was hard to see.
The woman is reportedly doing okay now.
Once we got her back on the beach, she was evaluated by Sussex County paramedics. She did refuse further medical treatment.
These lifeguards didn't have to help, but they did.
I'm very proud of them.
Still, they say they were just doing what they're supposed to.
We were just pretty much focused on getting out there and getting her back in, and just doing that as quickly as we could.
The training kind of just kicks in, and then you kind of just do what any lifeguard would do.
Lifeguards off duty, but all in. And Beach Patrol Captain Kent Buxton, he says the search was going on for about an hour with the Delaware State Police, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the Lewis Fire Department joining in. But it was those lifeguards who made the save. Back to you guys.
Wow, that's an awesome story. Well, we're looking for a much more awesome type of a forecast. We're looking for a good deal of sunshine. And when we finally get past the scattered clouds, we're going to warm to a muggy 88. We had a lot of rain from this morning, kind of the leftover residual effect of the stormy weather we had yesterday, but we'll start to clear the skies ever so slowly and steadily. However, so much sunshine that we got to watch out for even that now. Our Irish Eyes camera in Lewis, 82 degrees, will drop down to 77 by the 9 o'clock hour, but with scattered cloud cover. No additional rain expected, except a little blip well to our south. I'll show you that in a moment. 80 degrees right now in Laurel, Georgetown, as well as Millsboro, 76 in Ocean Pines. Here's the latest look with our live radar and satellite depiction of what's going on. Even the cloud cover has begun to melt its way, down towards the southeast and carrying that early morning rain right along with it, connected to this trough, a quasi-stationary boundary with a low pressure system that's developing along it. That's what that big old clustered up L right there. There it is. That's a mesoscale low pressure system on a quasi-stationary frontal boundary. That's actually when Charlie looks at me with cross eyes and goes, English, Paul, English. So I'm going to go back to English right now. Here we go. Hey, we had rain in Georgetown, Salisbury, over 1.5 inches actually in Cambridge. But here's some of the other locations. In Lewis, we had nearly 2 inches there, as well as Pine Hook and Greenwood. Just shy of 1.5 inches, for example, in Delmar. But not only there, we had over 1 inch in Bethany Beach and close to 1 inch in places like Ellendale as well as Georgetown with 0.99. Since we're changing over from the rain to the water that's evaporating now, making it a little muggy, air quality while the temperature is rising might be a concern, so we're going to monitor that. We have air quality dropping from good to moderate in Dover and some other places throughout the mid-Atlantic region, so we're going to keep a keen eye on that. 89 for the high expected in Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, Winds out of the west at 5 to 13 miles per hour. Look for a high of 90 degrees. Cambridge with more in the way of sunshine, and increasing sunshine in Snow Hill and Pocomoke City with 88 degrees the expected high. We start off at 71, clear skies, 71, 72, that's the range for Thursday morning. We click over to 90s, lots of sunshine. Limited cloud cover for Friday morning as well, so it's going to be a little bit cooler into the 60s, and then we'll warm back into the 80s again for Friday. But all the clear skies, if there's only one thing to watch out for, quote unquote, watch out for, the UV index is still elevated, really high, like 10. That's one step away from extreme. I know you're probably tired of me saying it, and I get it, okay? Sometimes this is the first time some folks have heard this because they're visiting, but I'm trying to tell the natives here, we need to be mindful of this UV index. It's going to be a problem if you don't protect yourself over a long period of time. And that includes black people too, that are dark as me, because we come in a lot of flavors, and I know that. Okay, so anyway, take a look. 3-day beach forecast. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s for the next few days. I'm going to be wrapping this up here in a second. 88 for us in Fenwick Island, and we're going to 89, for example, in Lewis. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Lots of sunshine on July the 4th. Wear that sunblock.
All right, Paul, thank you. The city of Rehoboth Beach is asking people to conserve water ahead of the 4th of July holiday. City leaders say they saw a drop in water levels around this time last year. They're also asking neighbors to water their plants on alternate days.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The Shorebirds continue their homestand tonight against the Frednats. Here's what's coming your way on DSN at 7. The Shorebirds blanked Fredericksburg 6-0 last night in 8 innings. Fredericksburg scored 3 runs in the 9th, but inclement weather suspended play, which never resumed. Delmarva is now 5-2 at home against the Nats single A affiliate. Our coverage begins tonight at 7, and first pitch is slated for 7:05. And we've reached the penultimate episode of Season 3 of Into the Trenches. Tomorrow night, Cape Henlopen football tries to keep its postseason hopes alive against St. George's. Let's take a sneak peek into what Episode 11 has in store.
On the next Into the Trenches.
Juniors and sophomores and freshmen that play. All right, you owe this group of seniors to play your very best. All right, our seniors have done a lot. All right, so pay them their due.
Whoever wins goes to the playoffs. So this is a home playoff game.
Into the Trenches, a new voyage on the Delmarva Sports Network and DSN Plus, sponsored by Preston Automotive.
That is sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Ocean City Police have taken into custody someone very unique. A guinea pig.
This little girl was found Tuesday night on the boardwalk near 5th Street.
Police are now waiting for her owner to come bail her out.
Our animal control officer was going down to the hotel down in that area to see if maybe they could locate a guest that maybe has realized that their little guinea pig friend was an escape artist.
Aww.
Some stories are more charming than others. If no owner comes forward to claim the guinea pig, the police department plans to take her to the Worcester County Humane Society.
I want to put my name in right now to adopt her. What about you, Paul?
I will not adopt any pets. I have grandchildren to clean up behind. All right, let's take a look. Oh, you youngsters don't know anything about that. Anyway, we're looking at temperatures of 73 degrees by 10 o'clock. By the way, our umbrella winner, John Solomon of Millsboro, congratulations. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, and here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.